Top right-hand side of the map, our blue Zerg player. It is going to be soO representing Solendis and Bugs. And to the bottom left-hand side, our red Terran player is INnoVation. Representing INnoVation, one-man team. Slightly awkward though, because you can't be a one-man team in Pro League format. You're telling Lambo, you know what, Slowly? I wouldn't expect anything less of you. Trust Slowly to be the one that goes snitching for people having opinions. Yikes. Oh my god, are you guys really gonna abuse WardiTV? For fuck's sake! You guys really gonna abuse WardiTV? God damn it. It's not allowed. You're not meant to do that. Don't be so mean to my bot. Alright, anyways, let's go into this. We do have 2 racks coming into the top side. So INnoVation going to open up with a little bit of pressure as we see the 2 racks going to be finishing. A few Marines going to start coming up in the next few moments. What's up, Namshar? Thank you so much for the 11-month resub. How you doing? Exclamation mark play. We're going to do some marbles. New season of marbles here this evening. When we finish up with the StarCraft. So, you know, get your plays at the ready. Thank you so much for the 11 months, dude. Hope you're doing well. Alright. Well, we are going to be seeing the SCV. Going to be coming forward to see the first bunker on the way down. Now, soO has figured this out at this stage and has seen the bunker. So, he already throws down a roach run here. And he's going to try the roach-based way of breaking out of this. Now, the roach style of breaking out of this is a little bit... it's a little bit of an issue because it's only a 2 racks and roaches are a big commitment. And if this was a 3 racks or 4 racks, the roaches are great because, you know, you give up the hatchery, it's kind of fine. But in a in kind of on the other side of all of this, INnoVation, I mean, he's on 2 racks, so now he's just going to get a kill on a cease on a hatchery. The roaches are going to take a very long time to come into play, and INnoVation is just going to start expanding at home and being like, okay, well, this is cool. I'm in a pretty good position here. There's going to be 2 bunkers up at the moment as we do have the Marines working their way through that hatchery, and it is going to be falling. Again, it just takes so long to get the roaches up that a roach-based defense isn't generally used against the 2-racks, because you will lose the hatchery, and killing the hatchery alone is already a great spot for 2-racks players, so... I like INnoVation's position right from the get-go here as the SCVs make a repair train. One SCV repaired the bunker, the other SCV got behind and repaired the SCV repairing the bunker. And you see a couple of Ravagers starting to morph in on the high ground now here from soO. There's a few roaches obviously pouring on out. Get the Ravager count up, bile down the bunkers. You can actually go right in the center and hit both at the same time, but that's not both of them. That's just one of them. The Marine's going to get out of that first bunker and get the salvage off already. Factory coming in at home, expansion on the high ground as well. As in the main base, there's barracks flying around a little bit too. Just having a little bit of a scout, although not really much to see. If anything, just going to be distracting those queens from their real job of trying to help break out of this bunker at the front so that a new hatchery can come down. Drone comes in to build the hatchery. Gets pushed back just a little bit there. And again, INnoVation doing anything he can to slow the expansion from coming back up. Queen goes down. It's a nice pick off as well. So getting some real value out of this bunker. Ravager goes down too. This is getting expensive right now from soO as these Marines keep coming forwards and they are going to get themselves another Ravager kill. Ravagers come in. A couple of SCVs will fall. Drone will build up the hatchery. So Natural will be back on track. INnoVation is up a couple of workers. Has 0 army supply though, but... Oh wow, he actually really has 0 army supply because he's building a reactor on the factory and a tech lab starport. He could have built a cyclone by now. He could have been building more Marines, but yeah, he didn't get out with any of the Marines, I guess is worth mentioning. Now, obviously, on 0 army supply, maybe this becomes a little bit awkward of a defense up on his high ground. This could get a little bit funky. Well, a few Tigos just sat there, as you do see. Extra racks will be flying home and getting there very shortly. Third CC starts from INnoVation as well to continue putting himself into a good little spot. Factory lifts up off the tech lab, lands back down onto it, or lifts up off the reactor. I'm not sure what it was actually building. Either way, jumps onto the tech lab, a siege tank on the way through. Marine currently fighting against this Overlord. The first Banshee is hunting, maybe really feeling as though there's something out here. Kills that Zerglin, so the Marine is safe to finish off the Overlord. And as the Overlord goes down, pop. So Overlord gets popped right there as a few more Zerglins of soO continue to come down to the south. Banshee is out in the center. Lair still coming up here, about halfway done at the moment. So Lair still just about halfway up. Ling speed coming in as well from soO right now. That's just getting started, so Ling speed coming into play. Command center on the main base going to be finishing up shortly. As we do see the few Marines, the siege tank here from INnoVation. All of this is getting set up and ready to go. This two Banshee's going to head off over to the right-hand side, so they are looking for some harassment at the moment, and you just see the stim pack just coming into play. In the end, soO wasn't overly aggressive, which I can kind of get behind. INnoVation had these Banshees on the way. I mean, what was he going to do at most? Maybe kill a depot or two, then the Banshee kills his Ravagers? It means he can just instead play quite greedy and just focus on droning without having to make any units for a little bit. And that definitely does make some sense. We do see these couple of Banshees coming around the side. Couple of drones going down, so two drones getting picked off right there, and again the Banshee's just skirting around the top side of this. Spore Crawler is in position on the natural. Once again, just going to be seeing some more drones being picked away at. Really nice stuff so far. Bunch of workers being picked away at, and eventually here INnoVation gets out down the right hand side. And here comes INnoVation's big push across the map here. A lot of Marines, a few tanks going to be arriving in a moment or so, and those few Ravagers already taking a shot. Going to end up being forced backwards here, these Ravagers, so not going to be able to really hold their position. Banshee's actually going to come in from the right hand side, which means the Ravagers will be a little bit kind of sanctioned off from the rest of this army. Queen's taking some shots from the Banshees as they trade out here. The Overseer gives the vision. A couple of Lings popping out. The tanks want to make sure they don't fire friendly fire onto the Marines, because that would be disastrous. And that's one way this can kind of turn around very quickly. One of the Banshees down, but two Queens down as well. Tanks should try and target the Ravagers, I feel, and they will start to do that now, but maybe a bit too late. Is there one extra shot? There is. Two Ravagers going down on that shot from the tank, and that's big. Two of the Ravagers taken down, only one really left standing. And there's more Lings running in. These Marines in the tank doing a decent job of fighting against it, though. As those Lings surround, that tank will fall. And it's a good cleanup from soO. As we see more of these Zerglings heading down to the bottom left. +1 attack and +1 armor. Both set up here on the natural expansion. Ling's still nibbling away for the moment. Third orbital command is set in position here from INnoVation as well. So that third orbital down and in location as an SCV drops off as well. And still just going to be seeing the Lings, the Roach, the Ravager. All of this. We're going to try and see what's going to be happening next. A few more meters going to be flying down to the bottom side. Couple of evolution chambers going to be finishing up now as well. +1 missile attack will be on its way. +1 carapace on its way too. I mean, obviously soO trying to get some sort of upgrades going here to continue a roach-based style. The meters from the Spire though are really kind of one of those as INnoVation kills his own build and supply depot. They're really one of these kind of, you know, risky moves where they're either going to do enough to get soO back in this game, and that in that case it's going to be like, wow, fantastic. Or they're just not going to do enough at all, in which case suddenly you've spent a bunch of minerals and gas and you're even more dead than you were before because you didn't get anything done with them. So it's much more of a risk to play these meters, but they've definitely got much better kind of chances of doing something, of rewarding you, if they do pay off, than if you just play the straight up Roach style. Going to be seeing the +2 attack and +2 armor starting from INnoVation as well. Mia's still trying to dive on in here, but INnoVation has a worker lead, and playing against a Roach style, the fact he's only kind of 5 to 10 army supply behind is very concerning from soO as well. It's definitely an INnoVation focused game at the moment, and he has the upgrades currently in play too. The question really just remains to be, when does INnoVation decide to try and push across the map and try and get some damage done? Do you see those few meters up into the center and just try to see what they can do? Well, that's going to be again trying to come on in here. Marine gets picked off right there, and we are going to be seeing another depot just coming up to the side, just finishing this wall off here as well. INnoVation just very patient until he moved out, but now he does feel confident. He is building widow mines rather than tanks. Maybe he's expecting this to continue being like a middleless kind of Ling Bane kind of style rather than roaches. So here you go, a few units going to stim ahead of the rest as the 4th base. And an Overlord here already in a little bit of trouble. A couple of widow mines begin to burrow up. Lings going down. You see a couple of widow mine shots going off there, and again the bio fighting away. Ooh, another big connection in on the widow mine there. That's very nicely done as we see those Zerglings running by from solar. And the Ravagers of solar continue to set up as well. A couple more Ravagers coming in on this right-hand side. A single Marine gets picked off now as well. Lings, Banes, Ravagers, Roaches. Here he goes, stimming in again at the moment. INnoVation taking quite the kind of feisty approach to this as we see this hatchery going to be in some trouble as well. A couple of Banes will be dropping, and again all of these Lings still being cleaned out. Big Widowmine connection. INnoVation was winning this off at the start of the game. A Roach Ravager response to the 2-racks was never really going to put Solar in a good position, and INnoVation has even dropped down the mules as he wants Solar to get out of this game and to give INnoVation one-man team the lead in this series. And there it is. INnoVation takes game the next game of this. From Cylinders and Bugs to the bottom right-hand side, our red Protoss player is Stats. And to the top left-hand side, our pink Protoss player is Zest. 24 hours is tomorrow. I know, I realized it when I said it. I just thought you guys would be nice enough not to pick me up on it. Wardy, your bot said it was an error to create Protoss. Well, maybe you should stop asking my bot stupid questions. God damn it. As we get going here in the PvP on Fracture, it's a small map and can definitely get quite aggressive. Obviously in PvP, that does open up some options of just straight up ground-based pushes, and mortal attacks are going to be very powerful as well. Let's see what happens here very shortly. Probe here from Zest, just to confirm it is double gate from his opponent. Stats doing the same thing. Both players scouting in the early stage of this, just to have a little bit of a look to see what's going on. Thank you so much, Tax Cut, for the 5 bits. Appreciate it. The Wardy bits as well. People don't actually use the Wardy cheer emotes very often anymore. I don't know if people just don't know we have them, or if they just became old. And the Wardy cheer emotes, we haven't seen a lot of them in a while. They're funky though, I like them. Sign up into this at the moment, as we do have the couple of probes. Still just playing, well, playing a game of chase. Chasing each other around. Twilight Council being dropped from Zest in the back of this main base. Stargate getting going here from Stats, so that's now coming on through, and we have our first tech choices from both players down on the map. Stargate versus the Twilight. It's fun. PvP seems to be getting a little bit more figured out again recently. People trying to, starting to move back towards a setup where players are kind of comfortable and not kind of dying to 4 gates every game again. It's kind of funny. For a long time we had PvP the last month or two, honestly. PvP's been like a hyper-aggressive matchup, really. Like a hyper-aggressive matchup. A few Stalkers on the sentry here from Zest, just chilling out on the corner. And there is that Nexus coming up from Zest as well on the natural expansion as this probe comes along. And gets going. What's up, Hello Zergling with the 7 bits? This is my last 7 bits! Thank you so much for your last 7 bits, yo. Appreciate it. We've wiped his wallet clean, guys. There's nothing more to be had here. Stalker's going to get rid of this hallucination. Before it hits the main, the hallucination of Zest is going to be a little bit more successful, diving right on in here. He's going to be getting the full scout off. So he knows it's a Stargate. This probe sees the Oracle as well, actually. And that probe has placed the pylon down on this bottom side, something which Stats has seen and which he's aware of. Zest going in towards the blink of his own, though, and as both players expand, it will just be Zest who will generally have the map control to utilize here with that blink. First Oracle takes a little bit of a shot there, actually. Takes quite a bit of a beating. Yeah, and that blink going to be finishing up very, very soon as the robot facility from Stats going to be starting out on the bottom right-hand side of things here. Shield battery set up next to this Nexus as well. There is Stats on moving forward to actually clean up this pylon. There's a couple of adepts are found by the Oracle, and that's a nice find. Zest going to be taken down before he even gets a chance to really deal any damage here. So he'll get into the main base, but then there's adept dies anyways. Again, nice call by Stats as well, not even to build a block there, because by not building the block, it stops that adept chain. It would have, cost him a little bit of money he didn't have to spend because he knew the adept was going to die anyways. So that was really nice, not walling off, and I feel that is a conscious decision he made rather than just, oh no, I didn't realize. So yeah, that's very nicely done. A couple of assimilators coming in on the natural expansions. We do see 2 adepts up to the top. I always feel like these skins of the Protoss are like hyper realistic. Like, it looks like these adepts are like such high quality they don't quite belong in the game, just because of the way the skin like defines them or something. I don't know. It's interesting. You see that probe gets taken down as well. It starts using all of the skins. Yeah, he's using these probes as well. How funky. These adepts do come into the natural where they find themselves 3 workers combined with the Oracle, but then the blink from Zest takes the Oracle down. Zest will be down by 6, well, 5 to 6 workers depending on when you look at the counter. And is up a little bit in army with that blink on his side. Should be looking to be across the map. I mean, this blink finished a long time ago, and Zest is only just now pushing out to try and take advantage of it. Meanwhile, Stats has already started up Immortal production. He's looking for the next stage of his game here. And Zest is still just kind of floundering around with Blink Stalkers, finally looking for something to do. And something here is going to be to pop a barrier on an Immortal and blink away very quickly. Hallucinated Phoenix going to jump up into the main to give high ground vision, actually allowing the Stalkers to get up here as well. He's kind of missing the Stalker count of one-shot Stalker there, which kind of takes longer than he would have liked then. Blinks out a Stalker and a Sentry for a Stalker. Obviously it's a good trade from Zest in terms of efficiency, but it just feels as though it's not that impactful in the overall kind of story of this game. See Zest going straight into the charge upgrade. Obviously Stats is a bit slow because he has to build up the Twilight Council. It is interesting because we see Stats straight up to 6 extra gates, whereas Zest will take the Nexus, then add on additional gateways. So Stats should be kind of a warp in or 2 cycle ahead, and that should give him a few extra units to work with if he would like to be aggressive. Looks like he will take a 3rd base though. The money is rising up and he's moving into position to drop this down. So again, just got these few units just gathered together here down on the south. These few Stalkers of Zest starting to poke forwards themselves now as well, see what else they can get up to. They pop a barrier on the Immortal yet again and just find themselves blinking away. 4 prisms setting up from Stats here in the main base, so it's about halfway done. +2 attack on the Forge, going to be Corona boosted again, so +2 attack being Corona boosted once more here. 2 extra gates are going to be finishing very shortly as that Templar Archives is also going to finish. And Archons are now going to be a possibility for Stats to add into this composition, as they will be for Zest very soon as well. His own Templar Archives, as you can see in production, is not far off. Stalkers and an Immortal coming in. Pushing those Stalkers back out into the center. These 2 Immortals of Stats with their cannons ready to fire. Ready to go pew-pewing. I love the Immortal skin as well, by the way. It's so cool. Also looks awesome. Stats just using all the skins. Zest is just like, skins? What are they? I want to see Stats Archon. Yeah! These Archons might be the best looking thing in the entirety of StarCraft right now. So cool. Anyways, extra results warping in. We have seen the 3rd base eventually getting up here from Stats. He's actually down 6 workers because of the lateness of the 3rd. But he's ahead by almost 20 army supplies. So there's a real possibility here from Stats to get across this map, to get into this base, and to maybe put an end to this with the army advantage that he does currently hold. So looking to try and make use of that as this hallucination still flying around. Robo facility starting up from Zest here now in the natural. It's the second row. Is that his second row or is that his first? It's his first. So he's just been playing pure Zealot Archon up until this point, and well, Stats will have a few Immortals mixed into this. Those Stalkers now looking for some damage, but I mean, again, like shots off on singular Zealots, not even kills. As you see the Stalkers all the way back towards the upper left-hand side. Just pulling back up here. Stats is definitely looking for the engagement in the next couple of moments. He starts to work his way on that rock. That's a Hallucinate Claw. It's a nice lift-ups to save some of those Zealots that were stuck on the wrong side of the force fields. Another few units just warping in up here up top from Zest. Stats pulls all the way back down to the bottom side as we see an Observer just position off to the right as well. Just feels very safe, I think, with where he's at in the game. It feels as though there's no real need for him to push just yet. Maybe he'll wait for his +3 attack to finish. That's actually a little bit in the lead for him as well. But Zest is, you know, evened out in terms of the army supply. It's now 101 to 104 in favor of Zest. And, you know, it definitely has been kind of a bit different. The biggest difference, though, is if we look at the unit count, 6 Archons to 4, obviously that's Zest's favor, but then 5 Immortals to none is kind of huge, and Zealot counts are similar. I just feel like these Immortals are such a beefy kind of part of the army that they definitely do add a lot into play. They definitely do kind of add a lot of tanking, they kind of survive a long time, and all of those go quite a distance in terms of helping out. Stalkers all the way around, seeing where they can get to. Have you seen that hallucination? Let's see what's up. We will see a pick off right there as a couple of High Temple warped in again. It's actually going to be Stats moving into the center of the map to greet this. Zest with a few units on the south side. Sees a Zealot, but not much more. Again, Zest has got to fight in the open. He's got to fight with the Concave because he's so Zealot and Archon dependent rather than the Immortals. But now it kind of feels like Stats is caught back up. Okay, he's still down 2 Archons, but the 6 Immortals are just so meaningful in this as we have our push in. Zest does not want to fight right now. He doesn't have +3 attack, and Stats does. So for Stats, this is the time to fight. It's just an awkward position because neither of them really want to push through the choke point, but Stats will commit with the upgrade lead. Again, he's definitely the one, if anyone wants to kind of press the issue, it will be him. And he's already starting to work his way through the Zealots of his opponents very quickly, very effectively. His Immortals are kind of going huge. His Warp Prism loads up the Archons, but they drop back down. Warp Prism dead, but his Zealots from the bottom side are just now starting to make their way into this, and they are going to be able to help push this forwards. The Immortals still being here as well, and they're just the units that are left alive after all of this is said and done. And they're going to be the force that Stats uses to push up this ramp in towards the third base, and to maybe just put an end to this game number 2, tying the series, tying the best of 7 up, 1 game to 1. There it is. Alright, 7 here in this team matchup, and neither of them are making a drone as we enter the 12 pool versus 12 pool. Now it's lost and found as well, as a 12 pool drone pool might actually be a thing here. And if they both 12 pool drone pool into each other, well, I actually have seen this before. We casted Rogue versus Impact in the WardiTV Summer Championship not so long ago. And they went 12 pool drone pool against 12 pool drone pool as well. And let me tell you, it can turn into craziness. Now the other option is if they both go 12 pool and expand, then it will also be an even game. But they could also go 12 pool drone pool versus just a 12 pool expand, which in case the 12 pool expand just defeats the 12 pool straight up, the drone pool straight up. So a few different options, a few possibilities as we get this set up and ready to go. soO's Overlord will be popping out right here, and we do get this rolling in the next few moments. Spawning Bull finishing up on the right side. A few lings on the way from both players. We're watching for that hatchery potentially coming down, but neither player is pulling a drone to the low ground at the moment, guys, and so all of a sudden 12 pool drone pull will meet 12 pool drone pull. And here we go. Oh my god, soO pulls everything. What? He sends 1 drone back. soO, this isn't how you do it. Dark leaves 2 drones back. Oh my god, these guys are amateurs. This is not how you 12 pool drone pull. You don't 12 pool drone pull and leave 1 drone home. That's not the meta game. Yikes. They need to learn from Laser and Lambo. Oh my god, they're going to avoid each other as well. Oh my god, suddenly now leaving one drone at home from soO is actually really influential, because now he has one more drone across the map, whereas Dark's going to lose these two. Wow, that's hilarious. I mean, this has been a very common build in the metagame as of late, so it isn't too surprising to see it kind of come up against each other. The two drones of Dark are actually going to get out here as soO going to start surrounding this hatchery, drilling his way through that. Obviously, these couple of lings of soO are buying a little bit of time over here. They want to get out alive, though. He doesn't want to lose anything, because every unit you lose, it's one less unit you have to work with. Now, it's actually a little bit interesting, because you can, depending on what your opponent tries to do, like if your opponent tries to get back up in towards, well, actually, neither of them have the money for a hatchery, do they? So last time I saw this, there was actually money for a hatchery from one of the players, or from both of the players, and then Impact decided to cancel his own hatchery and go across the map and just kill his opponent because he saw him building. Dark, Swan Pool left alive. I mean, obviously, soO just feels as though the fight's the way to go. What are the numbers? If this extractor finishes from Dark, it's 13 drones and 15 lings each. Ooh, 14 lings each. 14 to 15, actually. So he has a couple lings on the high ground as well, which does complicate things. He walks into a bit of a surround there, loses the Zergling. soO pulls back up, splits out. These few lings in the main just being kept hidden. soO supply blocked, which means these lava are going to die before he can put them to use. Unfortunately, if he'd been able to keep these alive and or trade and then keep these alive, he would have maybe got 4 more lings out, which could have been huge. But I mean, now soO's going back home. And what's the game plan? I mean, his spawning pool's here. That's the only structure he has, by the way. If he loses the pool, he loses the game. Whereas this extractor here from Dark is something he can protect. Well, obviously he can build another structure, right? And he does start up an extractor on the natural and an extractor on the third base as well. So coming back for the spawning pool. Why not kill the pool originally, you might ask? And I think it's very simply just a case of killing the pool originally takes a lot of time, and you probably thought you could have got something more done before now. As we'll see that pool. Oh my god, it's just going to be left to die. You'll send the drones back for it. I mean, soO's just been bleeding units here, there, and everywhere. And all of a sudden, it's 8 army supply against 4. It's 15 to 9 lings and 13 to 11 drones. Dark will be holding the advantage in this stage of the game. Quite heavily as well. Quite heavily. soO is just going to gather his units up. I mean, soO also didn't need a double extractor. I mean, I guess the trouble is, right? If Dark just sits here and soO just sits here, Dark doesn't want to leave because he leaves his extractor alone. So he's going to come around the bottom side of the drones. Dark is just going to send a couple of units back as the lings come around. Oh my god. I mean, these lings are actually going to find the drones over here, so soO's going to take even more damage. Well, but can he turn and fight with the drones alone? Probably not. He does get it out of there. The drones will regenerate over time. His 2 extractors are just left alone. And Dark is obviously sitting tight to kind of defend his own. 4 lings are now going to come around the right-hand side. I think soO can't win. But soO could maybe force a draw if they both just sit on their extractor. If they both just sit on their extractor. I mean, but then at some point does Dark just feel confident enough to move across the map and to kind of leave his extractor alone and take and force a fight, basically. Because that could happen. If he feels as though he can get across the map without the lings and drones of soO kind of circumventing him to kill this extractor. Even if he gets across the map, he has his drones, he still has money, he could build another extractor. I guess that's also the kind of awkward thing though, right? You don't really want to... kind of just go for the base rate, because then your opponent can just build another structure and you're kind of in the same position again. Dark definitely takes the benefit though, just soO losing a couple too many units here and there. He didn't save his drone in the main base, whereas Dark saved his. And just the reinforcing units from soO just kind of came in and just got picked off quite heavily. That really is crazy. You can see soO going around the side, and now we see a few lings. Over on this side are going to start fighting this. There's a drone here as well, which means he can take an extractor. And it means that even if soO kills this extractor here, it does not matter. As we do see a couple of lings and a drone pulling back. soO's going to try and go for the kill and then run, maybe? I mean, he can run only once, but Dark has money. Dark builds another extractor right next to him, probably just to be like, yeah, hey, dude. I don't think this is going to work out. soO loses, well, takes another extractor down to the bottom side. soO's just losing out on units, guys. Again, he lost a little bit too much here and there, and Dark is going to be able to play the shutdown game and to win this one out. as it looks as though Slenders and Bugs, Stats, Dark, and soO will be up 2-1 heading into the 2 versus 2 for game number 4. Extractor is placed again. Dark has been extremely safe with all of these extractors. And soO is maybe not so happy right now about what's prevailed from all of this, as he loses his last build, I think. GG, Dark takes it. 2-1 right now in the lead for Slenders and Bugs, Dark, soO, and Stats. Take the lead in the series after it is a 2-1 lead for Team Slenders and Bugs. And that is going to be spawned on the bottom right-hand side, the red Terran player Dark, and the teal Protoss player Stats, going up against the blue Terran player to the top left-hand side, INnoVation, and the pink Protoss player Zest from INnoVation one-man team. I'm assuming they can only use the revive if they lost a play in the first half. Well, if you get the revive by winning the 2v2 and you didn't lose a player in the first half, it would be 4-0 Adzi. And so the tournament would be over. Or the match would be over. This 2v2 isn't for money, is it? Well, I mean, the league is for money. So yeah, there's a little bit. Yeah, it's a best of 7, so if you get to the all-kill phase and it's already 4-0, it's over. And the all-kill phase only lasts as long as the best of 7 lasts. It's timed out, so you only ever have as many players available as you have to win the best of 7, basically. So if you only have one player available after the all-kill, the score will be 3 points in favor of your opponent's team, and boom, they kill that one player, it's 4 points, they win the best of 7. Can they save the revive so they can revive a player mid-all-kill? They can't revive a player... Well, they could revive a player... No, they can't. They have to revive someone that's already dead. Is Dark trolling? Guys, Dark's Terran's really good. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but I think Dark is like 6 points... I'm not going to say exactly his MMR, but he's really high MMR if random. As far as I'm aware, they can use their revive whenever they want in the all-kill, but you can't revive the guy that dies in the all-kill. It has to be a revival of one of the players that lost in the initial stages. So, for example, if INnoVation's team wins, INnoVation's already alive for the all-kill. So INnoVation can't go out in the all-kill, lose, and then get revived again. It would have to be INnoVation comes out, and if he loses, they could then revive someone else, because they win the 2v2. Alternatively, if Dark and Stats win, it's 3-1, then they could revive soO, and then it's Dark, Stats, and soO all alive, and INnoVation has to beat all 3 of them in the all-kill. Two Cyclones on the way up here from Dark. Protoss players both going into Stargates. And heading towards Phoenix, it would seem. Stats open with the double gateway. Zest will open with the faster expansion in the early stages. And this Reaper of Dark gets popped back down to the low ground here. Bjorn and the kids play on Friday. They should do Moose Wayne, as far as I'm aware. Don't quote me on that, though. Let me check for you. Bjorn and the kids do play on Friday, yes. We'll be casting that next week on Monday or Tuesday, probably. If Inno wins, can they give the revive to someone else and have them play first? Yes, they can. Phoenix here, joining up with the ground units. Obviously, it's very aggressive out of Dark and Stats in the early stages, because they didn't expand. I mean, Stats starts to expand now, but very late compared to INnoVation and Zest, who already have expansions up. Army supplies are actually not too far behind from INnoVation and Zest, and I feel like with a couple of Phoenix on either side, that's a fairly even fight. INnoVation doesn't have Cyclones, but he does have Marines and Marauders. If the Phoenix of Zest come in and lift up the Cyclones here, I feel like the Bioforce of INnoVation just cleans up everything else without too much issue. Let's see, SCVs are pulled as well, so Dark's actually very serious about this being a very all-in attack. Starting to repair up these Cyclones here. INnoVation and Zest realize the trouble they're in, pull up to the high ground. INnoVation's happy to just wait for his stim to finish. Even if they sacrifice Zest's natural, INnoVation can lift up his CC and he will still have 2 bases available. when they eventually push this back. Well, these Cyclones, they will get the next on the low ground, so they will be successful in getting this kill right now. Both Terran players supply blocked at 55 out of 55, or 55 over 54 for INnoVation. Here we go, these Cyclones pushing up, but now the Bio gets a couple of good kills here. Stats' army is taking some damage as well. The Phoenix are trying to fight against each other, but Zest has the better numbers because he's filling the defensive position. And INnoVation says something to in the all chat, which kind of shows his confidence, doesn't it? The Stimpak about to finish up, and, well, after all is said and done, INnoVation's going to come out 30 to 17 workers ahead of Dark. Stats will be 3 workers ahead of Zest, so overall it's definitely advantage to the INnoVation team. As we see those Cyclones lifted, they won't get away, and now INnoVation's army supply will absolutely roll over Dark's as well. And that's the big difference at the moment. INnoVation and Dark, the two comparisons, is very INnoVation favored, whereas Stats and Zest are in a very similar position. INnoVation obviously has an expansion, and Zest will re-expand, as Stats' expansion is up back at home, and so should be able to take a bit of a worker lead. Just feels a lot more comfortable for INnoVation and Zest overall than it does for Stats and Dark. Again, this is game 4 of this series. If INnoVation and Zest win, it'll be 2-2 going into the all-kill phase, which means we're guaranteed at least 6 games in total. And that Bio just gathering up as these Phoenix from Stats coming out onto the map, and just going to be seeing those few Phoenix of Zest getting ready as well, so it's going to be 5-on-5 Phoenix. The Marine also just moving along, and again, just have Stats looking to the Marine up, takes it down nice and quickly. Stargate here from Stats going to be finishing up in a moment, so double Stargate. It's really all about the Phoenix, and we'll see if Zest goes a similar direction. Yeah, he has already thrown down a second Stargate. Phoenix play in the Protoss kind of section of these 2v2s definitely seems to be the go-to every single time. And a few Phoenix just going to be set up in the natural, and Stats on the bottom right gathering up as well. Fleetbeacon, shield Forge on the way down. So Fleetbeacon and Forge, so Stats definitely looking to set up in towards the anti-impulse crystals, the Phoenix range. Try and get the advantage in this Phoenix kind of warfare that's going to be breaking out very shortly. Dark is now 50 supply behind INnoVation. INnoVation with a worker lead, a base ahead, kind of just puts it to work, and with already the production set up as well, because he was already on extra barracks and stim finished. Boom, he can just pump out bio-units like crazy. And that difference is very noticeable now, whereas, you look on the other side of this, and, the worker counts are a little bit favorable towards Stats. And Single Marine comes in, poking away at that pylon. Oh my god, Stats! INnoVation laughed as Zest just jumps straight on top of Stats' free Phoenix. And Zest will kill off absolutely everything here, and INnoVation finds that kind of funny. Love it. Absolutely love it. What's up, K9 Power? How you doing, my dude? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub. Welcome. We are going to be doing some marbles after the StarCraft today, guys. I know a few people are asking. Yeah, we're going to do some marbles after the StarCraft. Marine here, nibbling away at this pylon, as we do have a couple of tanks joining up together from Dark. I mean, he's trying to get an army up, but INnoVation's already on a third base. Isn't it? It's just INnoVation, like full-on machine mode. Like, you give the guy, you look away from him because some Phoenix are chasing other Phoenix, and suddenly INnoVation's on 3 bases and a ton of units. Like, his macro just will not stop at the moment. And again, it's looking as though it's going to be tightened up. 2 games apiece in the very near future, just waiting for INnoVation and Zest to make a kill and blow move, because INnoVation and Zest have all of the advantages at the moment. Again, this Phoenix just moving forwards, trying to see what's going on, and being very careful. There's no Widow Mines or anything. You can see that Zest being very cautious. Doesn't want to lose all of his Phoenix to a little bit of a trap and give Stats that advantage in the skies. And it is all about Phoenix from both of them. Third Stargates are down, and you see Stats going to be the one to go to 3 bases, leaving Dark behind on 2, because Dark has been a little bit slow here. Just going to be seeing those Phoenix continue to move around a little bit. Does there even Warp Gate up? There is Warp Gate up from Zest. Is there from Stats? There is as well. Okay. Dark has a few units positioned to the left-hand side to defend a drop or something coming in as well. And INnoVation is now on. I just love all the supplies, like Dark 93, Stats 80, Zest 75, INnoVation 165. He is the hard carry of this game right now, and looking very good at the moment. You've seen the Marines and tanks gathering up together. As you do see the Phoenix flying around here from Zest, trying to see what's going on. A little bit of patrolling action and just playing it patiently until probably INnoVation's like, okay, let's go kill them now. Like, INnoVation's about to max out, 2-2's about to finish. He's like, come on then, Zest, bring your Phoenix. Let's go for Wonder, because I'm pretty sure INnoVation's army could solo Stats and Dark at the moment, but obviously the Phoenix will still go a long way to helping out. And, well, if you look at the unit tab, it is 17 to 19 Phoenix, so it's definitely going to be a fairly closey Phoenix fight. But, well, INnoVation's ground army is just so much better. It's going to have 2-2 against 0-0. It's going to be combat shields against no combat shields as well, as INnoVation just stims right in towards this. The Phoenix, a little bit just waiting a little bit. They lift up the tanks for a little bit. The mules drop down already. INnoVation is not messing around. Dark's army disappears. And we're going to be seeing pushing up this ramp right now. INnoVation is going to be able to clean this out. And, well, there's the mule dropping down again. GG is called by Dark. Stats should be soon to follow. He's going to try and micro the Phoenix around. And, I mean, there's no way he comes back in the game. He's just trying to have some fun. And that is going to be Stats. Is unfortunately going to be eliminated as well. INnoVation and Zest take it to tie up this best of 7, 2-2. So we are tied up 2-2 at the moment in this best of 7. I was meant to be flying on Friday morning, now I'm flying on Thursday morning. So instead of not being able to stream Friday, Saturday, Sunday, now I can't stream Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I also might not be able to stream Monday because I might not be back in time to stream, whereas originally I thought I was getting a very early flight home. So it's a little bit frustrating because now I'm going to be gone 5 days again. I should be able to stream a little bit here and there maybe. Like I may be able to stream a few games. We'll just have to figure it out, honestly. We'll just have to try and figure it out and see what works. Like, I might be able to stream Kung Fu on Thursday. It just kind of depends if I land on time, if I get a setup on time, and stuff like that. Top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player here from Splice is Stats, who scouts and sees the lack of a barracks at the main base of INnoVation, our red Terran. And he'll open up with a couple of question marks like, huh? Buddy, have you forgot to build your barracks again, INnoVation? Are you having a runtime error? And INnoVation is just like, I do not speak to other human beings. I am robot. I do my build. I will execute. And right now he's executing a proxied Rax Reaper. Second depot coming down. Factory will come in at home though, so it's not going to be a proxy everything sort of affair. Just the Reaper, and even this SEV heads home from INnoVation. Stats is like, oh come on dude, where is it? Come on, own up, where have you put it? Show me where it is. You do have the pro coming forwards. It will be blocked off there. It's only the single Reaper. INnoVation going to bring that barracks back home straight away. So one Reaper moving forwards. Stats in his main base has got a wall off there, so he is able to block both this entrance to his base and this entrance. But the downside to that is there's not much space to kind of catch the Reaper, to wall the Reaper in behind his mineral line because he's missing buildings there. So Reaper gets in, now will get out, and this is forcing Stats into delayed Nexus of his own. As Stats drops down the Stargate, it's just about halfway done here, and his Nexus will be delayed, as INnoVation's command center will be delayed as well. But INnoVation's kind of happy to play one base versus one base openings. No Thursday stream, I'm taking back my 7 bits. I know, it's a disgrace. I will be casting over the weekend though at the Penthouse Party, so if you want to catch me there, I'll be on Take TV. So I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like I said, I'm going to try and stream on Thursday at the very least. I'd also like to stream on Monday if possible, but it might just be the case of there might just be nothing to stream on Monday anyways. So that's kind of the current goals, that's the current plans. That's what we're going to be, that's what's going to be going on basically. So that's what's happening. My biggest thing would be I'd just really like to cast Kung Fu Cup on Thursday. That said, if we don't get to cast Kung Fu on Thursday, I will cast Kung Fu Cup another day from replays next week, so you guys will still get the Kung Fu stream. I just don't like the stream being offline for 5 days. As the Reaper goes down, Oracle gets the kill. I just don't like the stream being offline for 5 days if we're not getting... I'm also not getting paid for Penthouse Party. It's like a real passion thing. Like, we crowdfunded the hotel stay, Take TV paid the flight, but I'm not getting paid to actually cast. It's just like a let's have some fun sort of weekend. So yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like, it's just unfortunate that I have to be away 5 days when originally I thought I was going to be away for 3 days. Just sucks. Anyways, medevac coming across the map. Let's talk about this StarCraft 2 game, otherwise some people might get annoyed. As we do see, Oracle comes in for a couple of kills. That full Widow Mine drop, though, coming across the map, and, well, second Oracle coming across as well. That first Oracle could have done a lot more if it hadn't used so much of its energy on the Reaper originally. Nothing in position again, because these next two Widow Mines are also going to get lifted up. As you see, Oracle coming in for a little bit of damage. Sorry, I just giggled something in chat. We'll talk about it in a second. Widow Mines coming in right now, and they are going to start firing away on some of these workers. A couple of these Widow Mines still active. He'll reburrow those and go for at least one more kill and one more here. Oh, he gets two more to the side. That's not bad. 6 probes killed. Oracle is now going to be... oh, Widow Mine nearly kept alive there. Oh, Widow Mine blows up an SCV underneath. 6 probes to 5 SCVs. With both players having their expansion up here on the natural. This is not so bad. Another couple of Widow Mines coming in. We saw this drop setting up before. This medevac looks as though it will be able to get out of here. Probes get back to mining. The medevac wants to come in, but he doesn't save the medevac in time, unfortunately. The Widow Mine in time, unfortunately. This observing... Holy shit! Can you pay attention? Can you please not be such a grouch in the chat, please? Thank you. Chill out. We're having some fun talking about things. Yikes. Chill out. It's not the fucking GSL Grand Finals. Gonna miss things. Shit happens. Stats coming around the bottom side of the map here on the Phoenix. Just picks off that medevac in the end. Just have a couple of these Widow Mines setting up towards the top side. One Widow Mine burrows up, and the other just going and moving forwards to try and keep things a little bit active here. That Widow Mine still on the bottom side too. Another Widow Mine drop from INnoVation as this Phoenix flies into a Widow Mine in the main. Just going to be seeing another couple of workers going down. So 4 workers killed at the moment. Ah, man, this Oracle's getting a good amount of damage done now. As you see this Viking continuing to deal a lot of damage. This Oracle getting shot quite heavily. Going to get one more SCV on its way out and will still survive and is alive. Top side, medevac with 4 Widow Mines inside going to be coming through and just going to be dropping in towards the main base again. Still these Widow Mines on the map. It's crazy how many Widow Mines there's been. Let's see, we go INnoVation once again. 11 workers down. Let's see if this Widow Mines can change it. Ooh, Stat starts to go forwards, but that's where this Widow Mine would have covered him. As we see a Zealot going down. 2 probes. Not the best of Widow Mines, actually, in the end. And medevac has to just get out of there because, well, the Phoenix is here. He's going to lift up. He'll get them out of the main base. And the medevac will not survive forever, although actually it will because the Widow Mine is going to get that Phoenix. Nice pick off. Alright, another Widow Mine gets taken down. These couple of this medevac backing away over here now. Another Widow Mine shot that seems to be successful. Takes down the Oracle, but then he loses the medevac to the Stalkers. Wow, what's even going on? It's just been Widow Mine warfare as INnoVation has just not let up with these Widow Mines all the way throughout so far. Blink and +1 attack on the way now as well from the Forge and the Twilight Council. So Stats going into his next stage of the game. He's still building some Stargate units just to try and help him against these Widow Mines. It's been a bit crazy. 2 more gates coming up in the main base of Stats over here. There's another Widow Mine drop over in the natural. Stalker goes down. And a couple more probes once again. Again, just a little bit more damage. Probes back into the natural, mining away once more. Combat shields on the way up, +1 attack on the way up. And, well, again, these upgrades just continue to roll on in from INnoVation. As we do see this Phoenix from Stats all the way up to the top. And Marine just going to sit in the center. And we do see the Widow Mine also down to the bottom. Probe going to get ready to potentially run into this. Fate Nexus drops on down. Templar Archives is on its way up. Just about halfway done at the moment. So Templar Archives about halfway done. 2 more gateways coming into the main. And as 2 more gates come into the main base, well, Stats looks as though he's finally setting up into his kind of real mid-game scenario. But the fact INnoVation got a 3rd CC start before the next Nexus, that alone is already kind of a big deal in favor of INnoVation. Terran players are not generally going to be ahead on economy or anything. And so INnoVation taking the advantage there for now. It's already looking very good as we do have this Phoenix going in on the Viking, and the Viking will just drop down. And he'll just chill out on the ground for a little while until he finds a way out of that sticky scenario. well, equal in workers, INnoVation taking the favor there as well. Definitely as a Protoss player, you want to be 5 to 10 workers ahead of us, Terran. Because they do have mules on their side, remember. Here we go. Watchtower gets taken. There's Bioforce coming around through the south. Going to be pushing in towards that Nexus on the third base here in just a moment. Let's see what he can do. He still has some Winter Mines in this medevac as well. He's going to start flying over and burrowing these on top of the army. Means Stats goes and focuses them down. Meanwhile, the Bio army just gets a lot of damage done in the meanwhile. So that works out quite nicely too. Stats loses 6 probes here as well, as we have had a Winter Mine just over in the natural picking up those 6 kills. So in the end, INnoVation doing a nice little bit of damage there initially. Now we have 2 more medevacs heading out, and they're both going to go up to the top side of the map, where they're going to be looking for a little bit more damage themselves. That Winter Mine in the main is eventually going to go down. 2 Stalkers just chasing it. Well, INnoVation now has 2 hit squads, so it's going to be time to split Stats' army up and see if he can kind of control these 2 armies correctly. Storm is finishing up on these High Templars on the third base at the moment, as the Viking is going to come in with these medevacs maybe. I guess if you fight from the low ground, you can kill the Cybernetics core. Charges finishing those, so Zealot Warpins will become more valuable now than if this had gone down previously. So not the end of the world, as we do see an observer from Stats able to spot this army of INnoVation pushing through the bottom side. So while INnoVation pushes through the third base, he's still just picking away at the gateway here. There's Stats very ready for this, and boom, the storm comes down. Marines and Marauders get tagged in it. A couple of Widow Mines now burrowing over on the ramp. On the top, this army is getting found, and well, first Widow Mine shots actually get rid of a couple of the Zealots. Now the Stalkers are more or less on their own, and they get taken down too. It's another little fight that goes just slightly into the hands of INnoVation, who now still leads on the work account, still leads on the army supply, is about to even out the upgrades 1-1 apiece. And that medevac flying back into the main base. 2 Widow Mines burrowed here at the front, not getting a chance to go off, target fire down, but these Immortals are going to be surrounded. Well, the High Templars start to drop out of the Warp Prism, but INnoVation targets them down without much of an issue. The Immortals will fall, that Archon cannot be lifted, and so it will go down, and INnoVation just cleans out a big army of Stats, just sat waiting on the bottom right side, waiting to jump in. In the meantime, he's up in the main, he shuts down a lot of gateways, he's killed 10 probes, and all he has to do now is just keep on fighting somewhat decently. Warp Prism gets targeted down, it falls. INnoVation giggles to himself a little bit here against Stats. These guys are having some fun in these games. They laugh with each other, they joke around, and well, that's nicely done. Stats says something about Terran. I don't know what it says, but I just know that there said for the first week of like wearing a movement watch, I was like, huh, I never really look at it, right? Because I'm like, well, I always just check my phone or whatever, right? So I'm just like, okay, well, you know, but it looks nice though. Now, it's actually so convenient. All the times I don't have to get my phone out, I can check the time just by looking at my wrist. When you know it's there, it's surprisingly useful. It's funky. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a big watch wearer for, I mean, I've never had a watch really. But I tried out the movement watches and I really liked them, so I thought, you know what, why not, let's just do the sponsorship. And I will not lie, every time I've been out, since I got it, I've worn it every single time, so they've become a part of my wardrobe at this point. Are the watches waterproof? They are, so it depends which kind of watch you get, Canada with Love. Some of them are waterproof, they're waterproof on different scales, so a few of them are just waterproof to kind of like to rain and so on. Some of them you can kind of shower with them on and bathe with them on, and some of them you can go a little bit crazier as well, but it depends which type you have, and it does tell you on the information section of the website whether for each kind of style whether it's waterproof or how waterproof it is. QNE watches are good for telling the time. Alright, let's do this. As we have to the top left hand side, our red Terran player is INnoVation here. Currently up 3 games to 2 in this best of 7 for INnoVation one-man team. And to the bottom right, looking to keep the hope of Solendus and Bugs alive, our blue Zerg are dark. Inno with 3 wins against Dark. Well, it's not Inno against Dark, it's a team match here today. INnoVation so far, I mean, the scores so far, if you just tuned in, INnoVation took down soO to put INnoVation one-man team up 1-0. They lost the next 2 maps as Stats took out Zest and Dark took out soO. INnoVation one-man team then won the 2v2 match to tie things up again before INnoVation took down Stats to put them onto match point here in this round of 8. Just going to see that Reaper just patrolling out the front as the factory going to be finishing up at the moment. Barracks going to finish up on the reactor, that'll lift off. The factory going to drop down as the barracks will drop as well, and the starport starting up as well. Link speed coming into play here from Dark in the main base. And as you do just see the early game TVZ not really taking any crazy diversions into anything in particular. INnoVation, that you might be like, why is INnoVation got a Mule AFK? Mules actually, when you drop them on the mineral line, they don't do fully complete trips before dying. They'll actually be halfway through a trip back. So usually a mule, when it dies, will be mining minerals, and it'll be about here when it dies, which means it dies with minerals in its hand. So if you select the mule before it goes on its final trip and you move it away, it never mines those minerals, and you don't waste the minerals because they just won't get back to the command center in time. I see a couple of Hellions just out the front. And so we are just going to be seeing the Viking on its way up. A couple of Hellions going to be popping out as well. And as you do see this Overlord taking some damage. Another couple of Hellions going to be popping out in a few moments' time. So a few more Hellions coming into play here. Baneliness coming down on the natural expansion. So Baneliness coming in on the natural. We've seen the Queens poking around at the Reaper and just pushing that back a little bit. We do see these few creep teamers just continuing to push on forwards. Third hatchery is obviously set up on the left side. Getting the creep towards the third base is one of the most important parts of this. Will help a lot in terms of defending across the board when it comes to where those Hellions might try and dive on in. And coming all the way down the right side here. That Bane Nest is going to be finishing up in a moment. As you see a few Queens just poking away at the Hellions. Third hatchery is indeed finished up. A couple of creep tumors going to go down to the left-hand side as well. Again, creep in front of all your base is going to be very important. You've seen a Viking here nibbling away at this Overlord, so Viking is distracted to the side, and the Queens are going to be pulled off to the left because, well, they can't go deal with the Viking if the Hellions are a threat. I mean, what's worse, losing one Overlord or potentially losing an entire mineral line. The mineral line, right? So the Queens go to deal with the Hellion threat, means this Viking gets second Overlord kill of the game already. And these Hellions are going to continue pressing forwards as Lings consider diving on towards those Hellions right there. But decide not to go for it. Third CC from INnoVation going to be finished in a moment or two. So third command center finishes up, and an orbital command starting to morph in here. So starting to morph this into an orbital on the third base. Another couple of racks are on the way up as well. And these two evolution chambers from Dark also finishing up now over on the third. Viking still poking away at that Overlord. Queen's going to push back the Viking as well. Viking coming around the right side again. Just going to be seeing another Ling picked off here. Third orbital command moving out into position now as well. I still don't understand how mules work. Do they just fall out of the sky? Yeah. You got to get enough energy so that when they get close to hitting the ground, you can like energy beam them so they don't die. And that's why you need an energy to call down a mule. But yeah, they just fall down from the sky basically. It makes perfect sense if you think about it enough. Again, just going to be seeing these couple of Hellions to the right side picking off a Zergling. A single Ling on the left side just get picked off too. And again, INnoVation just going to be moving down and across. With a couple of medevacs finally going to start being a bit aggressive in this game on Acid Plant. It's been a fairly passive first 7 minutes with a couple of attempts at Hellion run-bys. They've traded out with the Lings. The Hellions have actually stayed alive, which is very impressive from Inno. As we see this drop into the main, let's see if INnoVation is going to lose his very first unit. Well, he will if he leaves that poor Marine there. No! INnoVation. He just wanted Doc to feel, not so bad about not having killed anything so far. As we do see the Medivacs off over to the right side, and the Hellions picking off a creep tumor there, forcing that to just stay retreated for the moment. Again, the slower this creep spread is to advance on the map from Dark, the easier it is to clean up, the easier it is to clean up. Boom, the easier it is for you to control the map later in the game as the Terran. Creep spread and the battle for it, and against it, I suppose, is a hugely influential part of TVZ. Wow, did he save both Widow Mines? How do you save both Widow Mines in a fight like that? That's incredible. INnoVation gets out with both Widow Mines. I can't stress that enough. He just saved 2 Widow Mines that fired onto Ling Bane. It didn't even get like crazy connections or anything. Nice little scan. Wants to really keep the creep away here, so you can kind of most likely take a siege tank position on this location here and like drop over towards this base. It's a very common way of playing it out. INnoVation is playing mostly bio with mine support against Ling Bane Hydra. Now, we have been seeing a lot of Ling Bane styles lately, and so Widow Mine styles have definitely been coming back into play. But when Hydras are involved once again, tanks are generally the go-to because you just need those tanks to really solidify yourself against the Hydralisks. INnoVation will go into this fight having lost only 2 Marines throughout the game, but hasn't killed too much either. There's a 1,000 resources lost difference, but Dark's also been sat up on 82 workers for a huge amount of time. Got a few Hellbats just leading the charge right now as we see the Lings and Banes starting to roll forwards. Widow Mines waiting to kind of get a shot or so off. Just there to the right side, picking off a Medivac, and see another Baneling getting taken down there. Still Hydra's coming into play, still trying to see what else they can do, and again, just a little bit of a bio force still coming forwards. INnoVation bring in another 2 Widow Mines in towards the front. Lings chilling out in the top right hand side of the map, and we still see this bio pressing forwards. A lot of Widow Mines going off here. These Banes going to get cleaned up without issue. A big stim right now as those Banes keep pressing forwards. He's just going to be seeing them. INnoVation, you can see why he wanted to clean up this creep here, because he was really going to focus on this area. And as he focuses on this area, having the creep not there allows him to kite backwards and basically stay clumped up against Banelings, because he'll just never stay still long enough for the Banelings to roll in and connect. So INnoVation, again, making moves early in the game that has big positives for him later on, and that's what makes him such a solidified player in StarCraft 2, as we see Marauders will take to the charge, of course. We want to try and soak up some of the shots, much tankier units than the Marines, which they join in the army. Getting a little bit dangerous now, though. Dark is starting to set up a bit of a surround, and on people off. Surrounds are very powerful, as we see a few Banes rolling forwards. Again, dealt with pretty well here. Dark just waiting for that perfect time, maybe even for 2-2 to finish up, or at least +2 melee. Try and fight this with even upgrades rather than playing from behind in the engagement. And that's probably why he is in and out of this fight so often, chasing in and pulling back. We see a big Link counter-attack, and INnoVation's already been punished on this 4th base once before. It's going to be cancelled again here, and INnoVation not having a good time getting a 4th base up, which means time starts to really kind of tick away for him here. He's not going to be having the best of times if he doesn't get something done fast. We see this Bioforce going to start stimming backwards. Here we go, Ling's coming in from the top side as well as Banes keep crashing on through. Oh, Banes flanking in from the top as well. We mentioned that potential of a surround there, and that surround is pretty deadly. As we do see Dark sandwiches his opponent in and eats him up for lunch, because INnoVation loses pretty much everything. Gets out of the Medivacs and a few bio units, but that was a great execution of a flank in from Dark. Well timed, and now he comes out of this with Hive Tech finish, so he can go into his Vipers. He can start his +3 melee upgrades as well, and also he can start, means he can chase down those engineering bay upgrades of INnoVation, which have been non-stop going on because a Terran doesn't have to wait for a Hive to start their own free, because that's how imbalanced Terran is. Doesn't even need a requirement for free upgrades. Bonkers. Well, scan comes down, and a couple of Widow Mines still in this army here, going to try and burrow as some creep tumors go down too. Oh, that Widow Mine in the back, not going to find anything. Dark splitting away units at the last seconds here to minimize damage taken. Now we see this army going to come back and respond down toward the bottom left. Again, a little bit more bio going to unload as these Lings run on forwards. Marines and Marauders just sat here to try and deal with it as the Lings, again, good surrounds for the most part. Now those Medivacs loading up, and they're going to be backing away down to the south. Ultra's Cavern just over halfway done here. Lings and Banes still coming through. +3 Carapace, +3 melee. All of these upgrades are going to help Dark massively as his Ultras come up. But he has to stick around and stay alive until they're here. And INnoVation, he's maxed out once again with his own final set of upgrades about to finish, meaning that he's got an upgrade lead going into the next couple of fights. Let's see if INnoVation can make use of that now. 21 army supply ahead as he enters this one. This hatchery already in some trouble, and I think Dog being very patient and rightfully so against this. He's just waiting for a couple of his extra Banes to finish up. The parasitic bombs are very good, and the medevacs don't really know where to go. Cost 3 of them their lives. We see more of these units stimming forwards. The drones pull away, the hatchery falls. Dog's already rebuilding a 5th base in the forward location instead. And that's probably where he'll send those workers to in the near future. That 5th base will be made use of here very shortly, I'm sure. Lingers, Banes, and Hydras continue to rush forwards. Liberators. Oh, well, actually, the Banes connected with some Marines that were just clumped up together in the front. The Liberators go down because the Hydra force is pretty overwhelming. They weren't really supported by anything, those Liberators. No tanks. Even the Bio just out of range for a little while there. There's the Bio pulling back. Hydra's taking a little bit more damage. Plus your vehicle plating about to finish up from INnoVation. Adrenal Glands also about to finish from Dark. And again, that final melee, that final Carapace upgrade going to be done in the next few moments. Bottom left-hand side, Dark expands to as well because he has creep down there, so why the heck not? Take the bases wherever you can. It makes it so that INnoVation has even more locations he has to try and hit, shut down, and just stop from mining to be able to be in a decent position in this game. Banes and Hydras once more though. Just waiting for the Ultras support this time around. Chitinous Plane was actually a little bit late to start in comparison to the Ultras, but it is on the way. And as Chitinous Plane finishes up, I don't know what INnoVation does about this army. His Liberator count's been reset down to 0. He has no real tech against Hive to play with. He has no Ghosts, he has no Libs. He isn't even set up to build Ghosts or Libs. He only has 1 starport. He has a Ghost Academy in fairness, but I mean, how many Tech Lab barracks does he even have? 1, 2, okay, he has a decent number of Tech Lab racks. That really is the only thing he has to potentially play with Hive here. And even then, I mean, Ghosts are kind of expensive, and he doesn't have very many minerals to work with. Again, good parasitic bombs are actually killing medevacs here and really forcing this fight backwards. On the bottom left-hand side, a drop comes in, but the Ultras, Banes, and Hydras are very quick to respond. The Widowmine to the side gets 3 drones, but that's about all. And INnoVation is still struggling along here, trying to max out, while Dark sits maxed out, building up a bank. And it's kind of playing about to finish. Those Ultras are about to be battle ready and ready to push on into INnoVation's army. Those Lings there get caught pretty quickly. The rest of the army's nearby though, so seeing that this is a good chunk of INnoVation's force, he's going to set up to try and deal with it. This medevac just about surviving, but kind of cornered into the bottom side now. How do you, or where do you even go? I guess INnoVation will look to use the Widowmines to help them clear up the Ultras, but right now the Widowmines continue to go down. There's another parasitic bomb, kills 2 medevacs. These parasitic bombs are just crazy, and now this Planetary Fortress isn't ready either, and so Dark pushes straight into it, and the 5th base from INnoVation is denied. Will stay alive, the command center able to lift, but it cancels the planetary, and now we do see Dark just backing away a little bit himself. 10 SCVs down. INnoVation still has a good economy, 61 workers in play, but he's really got some work to put in here to make this work out. Here we go with this medevac. Coming all the way out over to the left-hand side. A couple of Widowmines from INnoVation will push forwards here as well. They're going to burrow up towards the front. Some Lings gonna get blown up as well. Bane's rolling forwards, and here we go. Some snipes coming down, and Ultimus drops pretty quickly as we do see Dog just pushing his way straight through this here. Some Ghosts peeling the way off over to the left-hand side. Lings and Hydras still pushing in as well. Marauders pull back away to the top. These Hydras are, I mean, they're just overwhelming at this stage, and INnoVation has really nothing to utilize to kind of come back in this. This Ultra might get taken down and will go down. But I mean, even while actually these Ghosts are sniping away, they're actually getting more damage than I thought they would. The Baneling comes in, helps to blow up a little bit more at the end. But I mean, you look at the banks and that's the issue. Dark's going to remax in just a few moments. Just get his lava spent and boom, he's going to be maxed out. And what's INnoVation got to use? I mean, 300 minerals, 1,000 gas, 120 supply. INnoVation cleans up that fight, and I'm actually impressed he did. I really didn't think he had it in him, but the Ghosts did a bit more damage than I thought they would. At the end of the day, does that even matter? Because at this stage, Dark just has so much remaining. And he can just go for another fight like the last one. You don't have to be efficient right now if you have a much better economy, if you have a much larger bank to put into action. And that's exactly what Dark does have on his side. As these Lingers, Banes, and Hydras just going to be setting up out the front and ready to push on in. Fifth base going to come in from INnoVation now. He lost the command center here in the end before. He'll move his main base orbital into position, just trying to stay alive He's got some SCVs here he could send over to mine because they are oversaturated in their space. He was oversaturated here as well. Looks as though he's starting to fix his economy in general now, so INnoVation will saturate this new base up, and well, if you could mine from it for a little while, maybe there's some potential there, but how long is Dark truly going to give INnoVation in a situation like this? As two Liberators siege up, these ghosts sit off to the right-hand side. Here we go. Lings, Banes, Hydras, Ultras starting to push forwards. The Ultras all running in right now. The Vipers will have dug one Liberator and two the Parasitic Bomb up in the skies. And again, the Lings, everything just coming in. It's GG from INnoVation. Dark wins it. You get soO! You are correct. It's a ZVZ Game 7. soO looking for revenge from that 12-pool drone pull versus 12-pool drone pull game. To the top left-hand side, our blue Zerg from Asterion is soO. And can he be the first player from INnoVation team to win a map here today on his own? Without, no, other than INnoVation. Bottom right-hand side, we do have our red Zerg player. This is Dark in this ace match, Game 7. What a matchup we have on our hands. What a day of StarCraft it's been. Again, it's been a lot of fun bringing you guys these broadcasts in the European evening time zone rather than live when Base Trade cast them with Crank. It's working out pretty well, and do appreciate you guys tuning in for the matches. So, do appreciate it as we get this setting up and ready to go. The dark skin's bullshit. It shouldn't be allowed on a tournament. Well, I mean, there's no skin rules, so it's completely fair play. What amazes me is that some players can play the game all day long. They practice, they play like StarCraft's their life, and god damn it, so if there's some like the fact that they can't tell skins apart blows my mind still. I understand that there's that one roach skin that looks like it has tunneling claws, but I mean realistically, you can still tell the difference if you look at it properly. I just feel as though people like to complain. I mean, I know, like, I to some extent I can understand the argument, but in other ways I'm just like, just learn how it looks different. Like, it's not that crazy. Except you can't spend 5 minutes looking at it. I mean, like, I don't think it takes you 5 minutes, though. I think you exaggerating a little bit risky. I mean, the one roach skin is, like, the biggest borderline thing. But I've had people complain about other skins. And other skins, I really don't see an issue with anymore. I don't know. I don't know why they don't just change that one roach skin. Oh, why I don't see why they don't just make, like, a fucking laser beam pop up across the sky whenever someone researches tunneling claws and be like, beep, 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 beep. Tunneling claws is researched. Please note the roach skin change. Obviously, it's way more obvious as an observer because I'm not going 500. Are you doubting my APM in observing risky? I'll have you know I can cast at 500 APM too. Oh my god, a hatchery. Oh my god, another hatchery. Oh my god, there's a Zerglin. Oh my god. Oh, 1, 2, 3 Zerglins over here and an overload over here too. A hatchery as well. Oh my god, another overload. See, I can still tell that tunneling claws is researching easy. No problem. Chill out. As the cleaning bot here just chills things out a little bit. Lair is actually on the way very quickly here from soO. Both players do go into Ling speed, so they will have Lings apiece to kind of defend the free bases. Now we're just going to be seeing the Roach run coming up. When did Wardy become so defensive? I'm not being defensive. I mean, me and Risky are friends, just having a bit of a joke on with each other, you know? We're just having a laugh. I believe they call it banter in this day and age. Is this a cleaning bot or a widow mine? Can we disable it, please? Yeah. Lings coming in, starting to fight on that third base. Couple of Banes heading over. And we do see some Lings coming through. It's a little bit of Ling and Bane on Ling Bane action, isn't it? Let's see what soO does with that very fast Lair. I mean, no Roach Roaring would suggest he wants to go into something like a Spire nice and quickly here, but he's had to spend his gas on some Banelings, so He's in a little bit of trouble. Dark is down by 4 workers at the moment. Queen's helping to defend. And that's only one Baneling that hits that mineral line, but it means that those drones are hurt. And if any of these Lings make that mineral line, those drones are going to drop so quickly. So quickly. Lings on each side. Just going to be moving around, and finally soO going to push this back. And there is that Spire starting up off of that faster layer, so just going to be seeing the Spire coming on down. And we do just see the Lings and Banes still coming in from Dark, though. He's still pretty serious about ending this game with just the 35 workers that he has at the moment, it would seem. Laying on Ling action in the back, and we are going to be seeing soO. Again, gonna have to get defense. Oh, there's a free Roaches from Dark. Well, call me a bad observer. That's, you know what? That's because my, you know what? It's because my casting observing APM's too low. If I kept up with the 500 APM casting, we would have noticed those Roaches on the way. I'm not sure what these Roaches are really going to do from Dark at the moment. I mean, they're just kind of wandering around. Feels like there's enough Ling Bane to shut it down. We'll see if there's going to be any damage done here in the end by Dark, because at the moment soO just sits ahead and works. He loses a few drones here then. Okay, that's nice. Roach is now in a little bit of a surround from those Lings. Banes go back over to the right side as the Queen gets saved last HP. Transfuse comes down now, and those Queens will stay healthy. Those Roaches do kill off a lot of Lings to the left, though, so Dark doing a decent job. And still making something happen here. A couple of Banes blow up, and some extra Banes still alive from Dark, though, making it in. The Queen's target fire them down. More Banes from the other side as Dark still attacking in, but his Roaches will eventually be cleaned up. But he has taken a worker lead from this. It's now 47 drones to 37. Mutalisk's on the way up from soO, though, and how ready for Mutalisk is Dark? No Spore Crawler third base, natural nor main. He has 2 Queens on the map. Oh, he's not ready for Mutalisk at all. He'll see them right now with this Overlord, but soO knows that he has not really been preparing, and so he ignores the Overlord to go straight across the map. Just going to come straight down to the bottom right-hand side, and they're going to get ready to fight here, as we are going to be having the drones taking a little bit of damage. 3 workers going down already, make that 4. 1 meter falls, actually. Some of the Mutas are left back to start cleaning up those Overlords on the map. Mutas coming over here. The Spores went up pretty quick, though, honestly. A good response from Dark after kind of having his pants down when the Mutas first hit the field. But obviously seeing them with the Overlord, and even when they rushed across, they weren't quite there in time to really punish the lack of Spores initially. And so that Overlord going to go down too. But I mean, the Overlord kills are still nice here. More Mutas on the way up right now from soO. Dark just went for a Nidus. It just finished up in production. So he is going to Nidus network his way across the map. He's going to bring the Queens, and he's going to look to end this game in the next few moments with a Roach Queen Nidus attack. The Queen's designed to be able to shut down the Mutas. And as soO builds more and more Mutalisks here, well, it's going to be a little bit tough because there's 7 Queens out of Dark that are going to try and push in and kind of ruin his day. This Nidus is quite far back. If it was a bit closer, maybe we could have seen some Spore Crawlers or some drones coming through this side and building into Spore Crawlers. That would have been quite nice, because then, of course, if soO tries to just buy time, the Spores come up, and it kind of really puts soO in an awkward spot where you really can never fight that. Now, soO does have some spines from earlier, as well as one that just finished up over in this position. Here we go, Lings and Banes jumping onto the Queens. The Mutas are going to dive on them as well. There's not that many transfusions remaining. The Muta count is still pretty good for the moment. And as the Queens start to go down, it feels like the Mutas are overwhelming. The Lings and Spines have held off against the Roaches on the ground. And now they're going to be able to support against these Queens. Queens of soO also coming forwards, and Dark is cleaned up. And soO is going to shut down everything here, gets all the kills he needs. That Nidus network to the left-hand side will also go down. Good cleanup here by soO. Nicely done. Great job. Well done. Alright, well, Mutas and Ling's going to head down to the bottom right as soO taking a lead here in Game 7 for INnoVation one-man team. Slenders and Bugs, Dark, Stats, and Solar may be saying hello to the loser bracket very shortly, because right now soO, with the Mutas, he is going to catch those Roaches. He's going to get a lot of kills. The Lings will start to overwhelm. These Queens are not near a Spore Crawler. They get 1 shot, 2 shot. Spore at the front goes down very quickly as the Lings surround, and the Mutas are just going to start overwhelming this base. The drone's on hold position as that Spore Crawler here. That'll just be targeted, and as that goes down, takes down a couple of Mutas. It definitely isn't pretty. soO is losing units. And Nidus is going to be used to save a Roach there for a moment, but I mean, this is very much so a game that is heading towards a disaster from Dark, and I mean, it already is a disaster. I think it's just continuing to go down and down and down. in terms of opportunity for him to get back into this. Mutas are picking off everything. Dark knows it's over. GG, and soO takes game.